So guys, it's been a crazy good day. So I had some challenges, but they were resolved. And bam! If you look at that, it's a custom medal similar to the last one. Honey, can you give me one of the last ones? One of the other ones? Yeah, the other one says national, and this one says regional. So they're not the same medals. It's the same shape because it's exclusive to us. However, I am working on a new design that's going to take it even to the next level. So I got some good news and I got some bad news. I'll start with the bad news. The sneakers won't arrive until Monday. That's the bad news. The good news is that the sneakers arrive on Monday. Next week is when the t-shirts, the new t-shirts, the black t-shirts will arrive. We will have the historical ones from the first event available. And I may do like a combination. So this happens to be the bronze medal. And it says National Championships. It's actually backwards. So it's similar but different. Of course, it's unique in terms of the cut. So these are not generic medals, they're custom medals. And I'm biased, but that freaking kick that came from this has been seen worldwide. So we're winding down. It's less than 2 days. Literally, it's about a day and a half before we get to the next event. The U-Man OG, as you see there, it's U-Man Pro League. Fountain of Youth, Region 11 launch, regional launch. And here's the patch for the pre-registered people. Now I'm going to make an announcement here that's going to sound crazy. And for those of you who think that it's not fair, well, I don't care. For those who have pre-registered way back when, I'm going to give you guys a spectator family plan. If you have spectators coming. And I know some people saying, why are you going to do that? You said you wasn't going to hook people up. Because I got to show the gratitude for the people who believe in us. I mean, I have no other choice. I must show the gratitude. Now, I have a lot of work to do. March 28th is this next event. But September 19th, it's going to come really, really fast. And I want to make sure that by that time, we have certified judges, we have sponsors, we have everything necessary to have the absolute best. I'm not sure if it's going to be a national tournament. Last time there were 16 states, that were represented. I want it to be an international tournament, to have a few other countries involved. So if you're from another country, please contact me because I want your OGs to come out and play with us. I don't care what country it is. We have enough time, it's 6 months, for us to actually be able to help with visas or what have you, whatever's necessary. But a lot of the guys and girls from New York never had an opportunity to travel, and that was the case with other people from other states. So what I want it to be is I want people to come. And I'm only going to have 300 OGs. Now, people keep saying, why only 300 OGs? Because the truth of the matter is that I love the movie 300, and 300 is a nice number. So imagine having 300 OGs here in the United States and 300 in other countries, and at some point combining them and coming together to see a world championships. Because there's people that were so talented that never had a chance to become even rated competitors. And a lot of them didn't believe it was possible because their instructors didn't even know that it was possible. Meaning, when Karate Illustrated, who ran the events, people could have went to rated tournaments. They could have went to rated tournaments. And Little Bit of Wisdom, that's one of our the only sponsor that we have is Little Bit of Wisdom right now. So, I did fail, guys. I wasn't able to get the media attention to, I should say, not the media attention. Media attention is going to happen after the fact. I didn't get a chance to get the sponsors. So I failed when it comes to that. And also certifying the referees for this event, I failed for that too. No excuses. Life gets in the way. Sometimes it's hard to be focused on multiple things. But one thing guaranteed, this weekend is happening. Now, the two things that were last, again, I'll be honest. The medals were supposed to be here, and they didn't get them. We didn't get them until today. Gives us time, But at the same time, man, I'm so excited. I keep getting messages from people who are overwhelmed that they have an opportunity in their 40s, 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s to even compete. And the fact that we have it every 5 years, as you guys know, it's from 30 to 34, 35 to 39, etc. Same formula in the 40s, 50s, and 60s. So every 5 years it's a division. But my job is going to be to take the champions and get some mainstream media. That's my big challenge in the spirit of great Grandmaster Aaron Banks. And I'm only going to focus on that. September 19th is the next tournament. Now, I do want to throw events sooner than later in other states to give an opportunity for people who want to come out and play. But September 19th will be a national, like we did last time, and hopefully an international. That'd be kind of cool, right, to have an international. Why do we make it international? What would be a minimum? Huh? Does 3 countries, does that sound international? 4, 5 countries? What do you think?
Maybe 5.
See, out of the mouth of babes. So if we got 5 countries involved, in addition to, meaning 4 more countries, then it could be international. Now, for those of you who are not aware, Puerto Rico happens to be represented in the Olympics. So if Puerto Rico is involved, that's considered what the equivalent to an international competition, or Pan American, as they call it, this part of the country. So I'm really looking to inspire people, give them an opportunity to become champions. If you're 70 years old, you're the youngest person in the 70, 74 division. If you compete for 5 years, you have earned your right to be called a pioneer. If you're competing for 10 years and winning, then you're a legend. And to justify that, go back in time. Most of these guys did not compete, or girls, they didn't compete for 10 years. And they're certified legitimate legends. The minute you think about competition, you might hear dan, 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 or whatever your motivational song is. And that's what happens to me. I'm personally supposed to be competing April 12th in New Jersey to defend my grand championship that I won 2 of them last year. And I'm training towards that. I strongly believe that if you want your body to perform on the outside, you must take care of the inside. Besides that, it's the self-discipline to do what you promised when no one was around and you still do it. The self-discipline separates the champions from otherwise. I'm not sure of that. Miss Littlebit will be competing in September.
Maybe.
Honey.
What?
I'll train you.
Okay.
And you help me train. So you're going to start seeing a big turn of events where, see, a lot of the training that we do, you guys don't see. You see when I was sparring. And when I'm sparring, it took us about 6 months before Master Ty and I started sparring where it could have been dangerous. I have a whole curriculum of fakes and angles and repositions and footwork that is the foundation to what would be sniper fighting. The sniper fighting curriculum, or the sniper fighting system, was laid out and labeled that in 2014. what I discovered was that I had a knack for being able to beat people. And because of my mother, I started studying myself. She was very adamant. She said, "You don't know what you was doing." I was like, man, what the hell she on my case? I know I won. I thought she would have been happy if I won. But she kept saying, "You did incredible things." And I'm like, okay, let me research what the heck she's talking about. And when I saw, I really realized, wow, I never seen anybody do that. I never seen anybody do that. I'm kicking with the left leg, I'm kicking with the right leg, I'm jumping, I'm punching with the right hand. I've hit people with 5 techniques. How do you do that? Drive by, kick this way, punch that way, sweep, takedown. I've never been swept myself. And I'm like, wow. And then I thought about it just today. Hun, you know what I thought about many years ago? The reason why I personally, you've never seen me extend my glove and go, just get a point and raise my hand to try to win. I wanted to make sure that if I ever saw myself fighting on video, that I wouldn't have to be embarrassed. That I did whatever it took just to win. They say you win the world and you lose your soul, right? Something within those lines. I'm paraphrasing. The man who wins the world and loses his soul, well, that's not my goal. So having high standards and quality of technique was something that I strongly believe in to this very day. I obviously have A through Z, and I got some, standards that are higher than a lot of people. And that creates a problem. People will say, "Oh, you've done enough. You're a legend." I'm like, legend? Man, I drove a legend. Yeah, maybe under the standards of what would be what I'm laying out. Yeah, maybe. But I feel sad when I look at the late 1980s era. I saw some beautiful, original creatures that got domesticated when they got on these teams and they took out their personality and they became generic. That's why I believed that if you take an individual's God-given gift and extracted it by make them into a commodity when they were specialists, that's when you take the flavor out and it's bland. I see how people train today, and they're absolutely more committed. They are. However, they're doing the same drills like when they do in basketball. So that's why everybody looks the same. So it's just based on speed or length. When in reality, that's not what separates the champions. The champions don't do things better. The champions do things different. In the 1980s, if I showed you the top 10 fighters, they were all phenomenal. I gotta say that one of them that really surprised me, I didn't get a chance to see much of him, but when I saw him fight against Jesse Thornton, oh my God. It was so incredible to see a jumping back kick into a sweep in the Grand Championship runoffs of the Diamond Nationals. And that's John Longstreet. Oh my God. He became a very successful kickboxer. There wasn't much money in kickboxing by the time they called it full contact. And that was what my goal was. I had an infinite goal. They didn't even know that I wanted to become a top point fighter and then a full contact fighter, just like my idol, Bill Superfoot Wallace. How is it that a Puerto Rican kid born in Manhattan, raised in the Bronx, I have this award up there I've showed you guys many times. And that award to me is the most cherished award. Grandmaster Joe Corley was the gentleman who told me about it, and that was in 2013. During that time, I was driving a taxi after losing a mini mansion, 6,500 square feet, circular driveway with pavers. If you see Karate Cribs in 2010, Cribs with a K, you see what I mean. And that was done with rec suits, real easy kicking suits. Spell rec. Or I should say sounds rec, but it's the real easy kicking suit. R-E-K, rec suits. And I want to get a list just to be sure. But Adam DiStefano, who was the person who actually got the awards for me, I asked him just a few days ago, who else was inducted that year, 2013, when Grandmaster Joe Louis passed away in 2012? And he mentioned Bill Superfoot Wallace, Jeff Smith, Joe Corley, Chuck Norris, and we'll go down. I'm not sure how many people exactly, but I couldn't believe I was inducted during the same time. And I remember that Grandmaster Joe Corley, who I consider like a brother, big brother, uncle. Like his daughter thinks I'm her uncle. I love her, Christo. I'm so proud of her. They sent me a ticket, airplane ticket, hotel was all covered, and I couldn't afford to go because I had to earn some money as a taxi driver of all things. Everyone goes through trials and tribulations, ups and downs, and I must say that I've been through my share of ups and downs. I started martial arts April 19th, 1976. I'm getting ready to celebrate. I'm not really sure. Is it 50 years this year or 50 years next year? I think it's next year, even though the calendar says 50. But I mean, like this year, we're going to have the first anniversary of the Humano G Nationals, today known as the Pro League. And that makes sense. Like, you can't have an anniversary. You can't have the first anniversary without having the first event. So please help me out with that. I believe that, I mean, they changed it in hip-hop where August 11, 1973 is when Kool threw his party. But it should have been 2024 for it to be 50 years. Because they did give away the 40th anniversary in 2014. I guess I'm digressing. My point is that I've been doing martial arts for a long time, and April 19th, 1976 when I started. August of 1976, same year, is when I won my first trophy in Westchester County Center. And I'm saying this because my goal is to throw the event at the Westchester County Center. That'll be awesome. That'll be going back to the scene of the crime, so to speak. This weekend, our buddy, Golden Feet himself, had his grandson compete at the location where I had my first tournament that I competed in. Supreme Grandmaster Sangsu Tiger Kim threw a tournament in the month of May. I'm not sure if it was the 18th. I got to remember. Or the 22nd. But it was May of 1976, and that was the first event that I competed in and lost. Then I came back 6 months after and took first place. That was 1976. I keep repeating a lot of my history to keep it fresh in my mind, because I know that it's important, not to me. I don't care. That's why I never documented it. But the people who care about me. For example, I have a cousin by the name of Carmen Fontanez, who will be on the front door of the event. So, you guys, you deal with her, you know.
With me.
And Miss Littlebit, of course. Maybe Senpai Franklin, too, who knows. But the point is that I just met her just 2 months ago. She literally did not think that I was her cousin just because her father in the past had exaggerated and said things that weren't true. She figures, yes, I know he has the same last name, but how could that guy actually be related to me? And at age 46, just before she turned 47, she left me, called twice, left a message, same day, and when it was all said and done, literally, she was scared and she left a message. I don't know if I'm really related to you, but my father is Federico, and you know him as Junior, and my mother and my grandmother, blah blah blah. And I called her right back, and I was like, wow. So now I get a chance to actually have someone with the same DNA, same last name, who literally is my first cousin. They call that prima hermana. And I'm loving it. And the fact that she gets along with my little bit, oh, even better. They're like freaking two peas in a pod. They spend, if I would tell you the amount of hours that they spent speaking to each other in the last 2 months, it's the equivalent to a few years with most of you guys. And I'm loving it because the quality of the conversation. And they're both going to be present. And I know now I got good women on my side. You know? And that's important, guys. Now, I got to say, I need help to develop what would be this vision. And there's a variety of aspects to it that other people can actually help out with. It's a movement of improvement. Movement of improvement. The Unified Martial Arts Network. You, man. We need you, man. OGs, older guys and older girls. Because we are older. Fountain of Youth. I want to find it. It's in St. Petersburg. Excuse me, I should say. It's in St. Augustine. Hopefully we get the tournament there. Either later on this year or next year. And then Region 11 is what Karate Illustrated had in all the different regions. So I'm trying to make this thing into something really big. I know that it's on a Saturday to throw a tournament in New York City is probably not the best time at all. And then throwing it in the Bronx, a lot of people are intimidated. They're scared. Oh, am I going to the Bronx? Which I get it. We will have other places. But I had to start it at the source. And I was right. When I saw Grandmaster Joyce Santa Maria and the legendary Shihan Toki Hill in the Bronx, people thought I was lying. But they came. When someone like the legendary Marty Eubanks came from Kentucky and won Grand Champion, people didn't believe they were coming. That was a guy named Frankie Calderon. Incredible Taekwondo stylist that even fought in Korea representing the United States. He was in the house, y'all. So was, I think, the man that might have won the most All-Americans, meaning the tournament by S. Henry Cho that everybody won. That was a big deal. I never get a chance to read, so a lot of people, Joe Louis and Chuck Norris, and events that even Bruce Lee, I believe, was at. Mark Williams, he was there as a photographer. He's coming back. Spider Rodriguez, which is Frankie Calderon's instructor, they all trained with Joe Hayes too. So, and those are like cousins of mine because I started with Motor Kwan Tang Chudo on that side. Then somewhere in between there, you also have George Calderon, who not related to Frankie, but all trained in the same circle, who is a phenomenal martial artist. Hopefully he'll come out sooner than later, if not now, in September. So I am calling out all of you. Start training. If you want to just do forms, wonderful. If you want to be a judge, great. If you want to be a timekeeper, we need you. A scorekeeper, thank you. But if you want to compete and challenge yourself, and you say, I would love to do it, but I'm not a black belt. Well, this is not a black belt only tournament. People would assume that it is, but it's not. The purpose of this event, in terms of the way I figured it out, is that the best parents are grandparents. And most of us are grandparents, if not great-grandparents. So we had a platform to be able to play within the 5-year time frame of us, that even if you're a white belt or yellow belt, it gives you a platform to be able to be competitive without being looked at like a sideshow. I think it's very disrespectful that I go to the events and others from my generation that have my pedigree, meaning going back to competing from 1976 and winning black belt men, at least placing in 1982 and being rated in 1983, even though I should have got rated in 1982. But officially they gave the points to somebody else. Winning my first national championship in 1981 as a junior, winning my first grand championships, plural, two of them that same year. And when I think about it, that is a long career, but then when I think about it the other side, man, I only did 10% of what I wanted to do. And then the industry changed. Karate Illustrated was the biggest thing. That if you was on that cover of the magazine, which came out monthly, sometimes it take me 2-3 hours just to get that magazine, because I used to travel to get it and picture myself on the cover. And by the time I became a top competitor, they took that magazine away. Ronaldo Barden actually saw one of the videos I did recently, and I want to interview him because he was the editor that actually made Karate Illustrated start the ratings. And I want to I have questions for him. He lives in New York. So Karate Illustrated went to out in the handbag, and then all we had was what would be Sport Karate, I should say Smash Magazine, which became eventually Sport Karate Magazine. And those things meant nothing to me until recently when I thought about, oh my God, this history that we have really belongs to our loved ones, not to us. Whether they're students or generations to come, of family or relatives. And there's a difference between family and relatives as far as I go. Relatives are people who have the same last name. Family are people of similar mind that do not have your same last name. So I know I'm part of the martial arts family, no question about it. That's why I say us one, because we are all important. The timekeeper, the scorekeeper, the spectator, the judge, and the competitor collectively makes up the entire culture of martial arts as a subculture. And the mindset of martial arts is the reason why I'll take AI. And most people do these videos and they don't put a photo up there. They don't know how to do that. They're intimidated by technology. To me, I love to learn. I am not lazy in my learning because the more I learn, the more I can earn. I wish I spoke more languages. I'm going to have to start practicing more languages because that was one of my goals. I just forgot about it. But you see there the way I take the logo. And again, that one says regional launch. And the previous one, which is backwards here, sorry. This is the bronze one that says national championships. And I want to get an international championships. Now these are unique custom medals, as you can see. Nice size. You know, beautiful, I think. Because it's not just a generic one I'm putting a sticker on. And that also comes in with some finances. You know, $3,500 is the maximum potential amount of prize money based on the volume of people. As long as there's 5 people per division, then we have the capital to be able to do it. Since we didn't have enough, honey, come over here. Let me ask you a question. When I say to you, you're going to compete in September, what's the first thing that goes in your mind? Oh my God, winning! Yeah, she does. I like that. Yeah.
I don't play. I mean, I want to win.
Okay, and I think I can help you.
Yes.
And I think you can help me too, like holding the pads and so on and so forth. So guys, I strongly believe that teamwork makes the dream work. And she has some special skills. If you ever saw her run and jump and throw kicks, it's phenomenal because she likes to win. So she does have that spirit.
Yes.
She also does push-ups like a man, no disrespect.
Yeah, because when I was little, about 8, 9 years old, I used to pick up the pedigree bag, the 45-pound dried dog food.
How much did you weigh?
I don't know.
45 pounds is a lot.
I used to pick it up. I used to always say, "Don't touch it. I'm going to pick it up." I used to put it in the car, put it upstairs. Crazy.
So you literally used to pick up the 45-pound bag of dog food. She loves dogs. By the way, guys, can we make the announcement now?
Yeah.
So recently, actually Tuesday, whether it was after 12, Monday night, or Tuesday morning, we found out Tuesday morning.
At 10:30.
At 10:30, that Coco has transcended and is now an angel. She's flying. This dog, oh my God. She had
baby is in doggy heaven with her fur parents, her cousins, my dada, may he rest in peace also.
So this week has been a rough week, guys. We didn't want to announce it because it's almost like reoccurring, but let's think about this. Coco was my coach, and I got videos to prove it. Stay tuned for the Coco song and also the videos. And Coco ran with 3 legs.
Yep, she had all 4, but she would have one up and run with 3.
When she got heavy, living with me. She weighed 3.8 pounds. And she was a Shih Tzu
and Chihuahua.
And a Chihuahua. That's a Chihuahua. Right?
My baby
A Wawa
girl.
shit. I don't know.
Drama queen.
And literally, she bit my nose the first time that
Yes,
she...
literally right here, she made a mark. I said, oh, Coco.
Made a mark. She drew blood.
Yeah, I was like, Coco.
I got woozy, too.
Now he's not going to like us, baby. Why you bit him?
So, for those of you who've had pets, they're not pets, they're children. She had them for 10 years.
Yes.
Now, how long would she really have lived?
Probably less.
Not even 10 minutes, because the dog was born
Dead.
So
And
if you
a
got...
family friend helped me CPR'd her 3 times.
Yeah, so if you ever saw, that was Diana, right?
Yeah, Diana.
If you ever saw Ace Ventura, I think there's a squirrel that's going through some hard times, and he does mouth to mouth from the squirrel. So that was kind of like, how big was she? Oh my God, I can't imagine how small she must have been.
She was really little.
Because if she was 3.8 pounds when she was 10 years old, after gaining weight, how small? Oh my God.
Really small.
Must have been tiny. But a big heart and personality. So, props to Coco, who literally was phenomenal. I learned so much from that dog's attitude. When she ran around the track, she didn't stop.
Nope.
I was like, what the heck is going on
She would
here?
keep looking back at us like, you gonna run? Come on.
She was out. The track around Yankee Stadium is a quarter of a mile. And this dog with 3 legs was trooping, doing her stuff. And even to the last days, because we have another dog, as you know now, that's a year old, that was her companion, which is Mila, the little blonde.
Crazy girl.
Yeah, I call her the number 2 pencil. Actually, she's not number 2 pencil no more. Because I call her number 2 pencil because she was crapping all over the house, the number 2. And she looked like a pencil because she's long and then she's yellow, you know. But we actually trained her how to use the
wee pen.
Yeah, so she gets a treat. But the point wasn't is that, you know, these animals aren't around that long, so we have to pay homage to them or take care of them with the best of our abilities, and then pay homage to them when they're not around. So I might do a portrait. There'll be something that we might do. And again, you know, that's why we haven't seen Coco, and that's also one of the reasons why there hasn't been too much wisdom this week, you know, because it's been a rough week. But we still got to fake it till you make it. That's why I've been coming on later. But
I'm going to be strong for her, because I know for a fact if she was to talk, she'd be, Mommy, be strong. My little drama queen.
100%. Coco was
Baby
phenomenal.
girl.
Yeah, phenomenal. And I think, honestly, that Coco was, if they checked the DNA with her, it's probably the same as Coco.
And I was gonna tell her, Mama, next week we go do haircut.
Yeah. Oh my God, this Coco was a rock and roller. She was like heavy metal with the long hair. When I first met her.
You couldn't see her eyes.
And then when we shaved her, she got down to how she was before she passed, which was hairy. But not hairy compared to the other thing. There's levels of hairy, guys.
And when we took her and the lady said, I'm done, I cried.
And I thought, what the hell? She don't like the way she looked.
I cried.
And she looked beautiful, right?
She looked beautiful. And her daddy.
And then the last time, since she had some Chihuahua, I'm saying, how about we forget the Chihuahua part. Let's shave her down to, I should say, forget the Shih Tzu part. Let's shave her down to a Chihuahua, right? Chihuahua has really short hair. And when we did that, it's like they changed the dog. Like, who
I really cried. I said,
who's that?
Oh my God. And then the lady thought she did something wrong. She looked
happy
at Jerry
tears, right?
like, what happened? And I was like, you did an amazing job.
Anyway, guys, so
My
for
baby
those,
girl's in doggy heaven.
yeah, so Coco, 10 years old, just passed away. And she's buried right near her daddy, her mom, not too far from mommy too, so we're within a few feet.
Yeah.
But for those of you who have lost any pets, we understand.
Yes.
So I guess you guys can
They're
relate.
always with you. She's in my heart, soul, and mind forever, no matter what.
I think again, I'm gonna do something special sooner than later for
baby
those.
girl.
Yeah, and then maybe we can do that for other people. But anyway, on that note, guys, without it being negative, we do want to celebrate the days that we had with Coco. I'm so happy that I met her, and literally, I learned so much from a dog who should have gave up in life, and she was a trooper, man. My gosh, this dog was so. When you bite a pit bull in the nose.
She was a mini pit bull. I called her mini pit bull.
Yeah, there was something wrong with her. I think it was the Latino part. I don't know if it was Shih Tzu.
Probably, yeah.
Freaking Mexican part of the damn Latin blood. Hun, what do you think about the medals?
Awesome.
Now, I know that I don't want to do the third ones the same, obviously, with the shape. I'm thinking maybe possibly, if it's possible, to make the actual medal the number one itself. And then put the wordings within the black and maybe the blue.
Yeah.
If that's possible, then great.
You should try it. Yep.
Yeah, and I'll make sure. Guys, listen, I am going to, thank you, hon. I am going to say this. It is $100 for the first division and $25 per additional division at this point because it's so late in the game. And a lot of you have taken your time to register at the door, and I get it. You know, we're older guys and older girls, so because of that, we're trying to do things old school. So the timing, the doors are going to open at 9 o'clock. There's an old school black belt meeting to go over the rules the way it should be. And that's going to be at 9:30. Then at 10 o'clock, we're going to start with the 30 and 40-year-olds. When I say 30 and 40-year-olds, that includes male and female. And that's at 10 o'clock. 11 o'clock, 40s and 50-year-olds. 12 o'clock. Oh, I said 40 and 50, huh? I meant 40-year-olds. Sorry. So 30-year-olds at 10, 40-year-olds at 11, 50-year-olds at 12, 60-year-olds at 1, and 50. Well, I'm up to 50. I'm losing it here. 30 at
40, 50, 60.
wait, go 1 second. 30 at 10, 40 at 11, 50 at 12, 60 at 1, yes, and 70 at 2 o'clock. So that's actually it. Those are the times of competition. Now, the divisions, again, is from 30 to 34, 35 to 39, 40 to 44, 45 to 49, 50 to 54, 55 to 59, 60 to 64, 65 to 69, 70 to 74, 75 to 79, 80 to 84, 85 to 89, 90 to 94, 95 to 99, 100 plus. Now, of course, we don't have no 100 plus. We might have a 90, who knows, because I'm not sure who's going to show up. But I can say this, that it's $100 for the first division, $25 for each additional division, which is what everybody else charges in general. In addition to that, spectators at this point are $50 for the eliminations, $75 for the VIP, and you're not spectating little kids. This is Pioneers and Legends, so that's why it is more. Plus, that's what helps pay for the Grand Championship. So donations are highly appreciated because at this point, that's what really this is. Not that it's charity, but it's definitely self-finance. Hopefully, I don't lose too much money is the point. But for the next event, I want to cover the same exact thing and add what will be the certified judges and get a budget for the referees themselves. How's that? We're gonna get certified referees and have a budget for them also. So that's the goal. Well, am I missing anything? Oh, at 5 o'clock are the finals. At 7 o'clock is the VIP party and birthday bash. That's worth the trip. I'm biased, but we have I already ordered the empanadas, and of course we got the pizza. So it's not a sit down dinner, but it's finger food. But that's a combination of 3 events, VIP, and that includes birthday cake and drinks. DJ King Uprock, the legendary King Uprock, is going to provide the music. So there's going to be a bunch of dancers there. It's going to be a lot of fun. In addition to that, we also have Mr. Irby, Irby Soul Food. They're going to have food there available for sale for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, so you do not have to walk around the Bronx. And the Grand Championship for women is separate. And when it comes to fighting, forms is all together. The three divisions are fighting, forms, and weapons. You do have to sign the waiver that this time we're going to have. I'm not sure what else to say except that the last time we had legendary competitors like Hanshi Derek Williams take Grand Champion forms. We also had Tito Jose Iglesias Vasquez, who won Grand Champion fighting in forms in his bracket. At the time it was 40-50. And then we also had Marty Eubanks, who won the 60-plus Grand Champion. That same thing with with Hanshi Derek Williams. And we also had the legendary, not sure what the title he uses, but we call him Shihan Bennett. Earl Bennett was in my house, and a whole bunch of other people like O Sensei, Felix Vasquez. Anyhow, guys, I went a little long-winded, but all I want to say is that from the bottom of my heart, thank you all who have supported, and for those who can't make it this time, maybe September 19th you can. On that note, AB, see you. I salute you. Thank you.